What is up? What is up? YouTube, how y'all doing, man? Will. Shout out to Will, man. I like this guy right here, man. I didn't know he did some time, man. This is an hour and 15 minutes long. Katt Williams exposed crazy Epstein celebrity and all this stuff. He gonna break it down to you, man. Hey, I had a meeting with my staff, man, and my number one word is guessing. Stop guessing at things, man. If you want to change your life, the first thing you got to do is stop guessing. You got to admit that you don't know and you don't understand this, and you need a coach or you need somebody to help you to teach you this. Get a book, research it, whatever the case may be. Clarity. You got to get clarity. The ones that act like they know, the actors, they want to act like whatever they guessing at is working. They want to act like it's working. Whatever you guessing at, like doing the YouTube. I stopped guessing, man. I got clarity. And that's why we have 500,000 subscribers. Appreciate all the subscribers. Thank y'all so much, man. We do not take this lightly. Love y'all to death, man. I'm in the comment section. I wish I can hug each and every last one of y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. You want clarity? Come holler at Uncle Mike. Change your life. To Epstein. Renewed. Wait a minute, y'all. I don't know what happened, man. We supposed to be at the top. Not we.
There's only a few people.
There we go.
That I trust to tell us the truth in entertainment.
Talk to me.
One is Katt Williams. Another is Ice Cube. Another is 50 Cent. Those three, I trust that they're going to tell us the truth as much as they can.
And I trust that Will going to tell us the truth also.
Katt Williams has said some things about Epstein and the celebrities around Epstein. 50 Cent has said some things. That Ice Cube has also said some things that I'm going to show you guys in this live stream that I think you're going to find very interesting. We're going to talk about the latest updates in the Epstein files. We're going to talk about the celebrities that were around Epstein. And we're going to talk about the politicians, some of the politicians and some of the richest people in the world that were around Epstein. Bill Gates has responded to some of this Epstein controversy that he's facing and different things like that. We're going to talk about it. And we're going to show you guys all the different information. If you don't go anywhere else, but you come to a Will Evans live stream, you're going to get pretty much all the information that you need, and you're going to get it in an entertaining way, and you're going to get it in a way that's digestible, where it's not just a bunch of things thrown from left and right at you. We're going to talk, and we're going to have real talk, where it comes down to layman's terms, where it's not Chinese and a bunch of people just trying to sound smart. We're just going to talk real and what's really going on. We question everything here.
There you go.
If you've never been here before, my name is Will Evans. Welcome to the live stream. I see you guys in the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat. If you're not a subscriber, you can't be in the comment section. So subscribe so you can get in the comment section as we go through this information. And we always start the live stream with a prayer, just giving the glory and honor to God. And then we jump into the content, man. So we're going to start that way today. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for another day, God. Thank you for our opportunity to come on here and fellowship with everybody and spread truth, God. God, your people are out here starving for truth, and we're starving for some type of consequences for the crimes that we're going to talk about today for these people, Lord. God, I ask that you continue blessing this platform, continue blessing us as a community, God. And like your word says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, let us have no fellowship, Lord, with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather let us expose them. You said that in your word. You commanded us to do that in your word, Lord, and we're here to do that today. In Jesus' name, amen. That's one of my favorite scriptures, by the way. So we know throughout this case, there's been a lot of different updates. One thing that came out throughout the Epstein case was maybe there was some truth to the Pizzagate conspiracy theories that have been going around for years. If you don't know what the Pizzagate conspiracy theories are, I'll give you a brief synopsis here. So basically, Pizzagate is something that people would say that politicians and these super influential people in the world were using the code word pizza in order to pretty much talk about child trafficking. And so throughout this case, or throughout the Epstein saga, people couldn't confirm or deny if this was actually real. But with the files coming out and different things being said in the files, now we can say, okay, maybe this is not a game. maybe there's some truth to this. Because in the files, there was a new batch of documents that were linked to Epstein that renewed the allegations about Pizzagate. The article says, the Justice Department on Friday released a new batch of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein as the Transparency Act mandated. These documents have allegations, of torture by some of Epstein's purported victims. Incidentally, they have renewed the interest in the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, with many rushing to claim that it was real. The Pizzagate conspiracy theory sprung up in 2016 during the presidential elections based on hacked and misunderstood emails from Hillary Clinton. And so while the Pizzagate conspiracy had been debunked, the Epstein files had restarted the buzz in the theory. There's mention of pizzas at many points in the Epstein files. These have widely been shared online by those claiming that Pizzagate conspiracy theories were indeed real. So a lot of the documents and emails and screenshots from the documents showed these different things. And so that wasn't one of that wasn't the only conspiracy, quote, underscore, right? Conspiracy theory that was brought back up. Another conspiracy that was brought back up was this file right here that I'm showing you guys. This is actually from the Epstein documents, where it was alleging that President Biden, was actually not President Biden. And a lot of people had this theory that Biden was a clone or something weird was going on. And in this document, it said, Biden is not your current president. This was an email that was sent, and they screenshotted it. It was from the Epstein documents as well. It said, Biden is not your current president. The mask malfunctions on Biden are getting worse each day on purpose. This will end badly for somebody who's redacted in the document, who is posing with the effing clone on Facebook. The document said the dude playing Biden ain't Biden. The real Biden was an evil, sick, angry man who abused children, including his own children. That's an actor with an effing mask. We've been over this 1,000 times. It's never going to change. Biden is shot in 2019 firing squad. So people are saying that this is a document from the Epstein files, and that confirms another conspiracy theory that's been going around for years, that when Biden was in office, it wasn't really Biden. There's a guy who's former FBI, and he responded to the files, the 3.5 million pages out of the 6 million pages of Epstein files that existed. He responded to them dropping, and this is what he had to say. Check it.
Transparency. It's a cover-up, and here's how it works. They show you flight logs, emails, PG-rated photos, fragments of conversations that have been stripped of the meat. A few big names get thrown under the bus. It's just enough to feel disturbing, but never enough to prove anything about the real players.
Right.
That's what you'll see in this massive document dump. What you won't see is context. You won't see corroboration, and you definitely won't see accountability.
I think that's a huge point that he's making. Personally, I believe that a lot of these, they're putting, one reason that they put out so many documents is hoping that nobody has the time to go through every little thing. I think that's the purpose of putting out 3.5 million documents. Another reason is we put out a huge dump of documents, and no matter how much craziness is in these documents, there's never going to be any consequences of significance for anybody that's in it, because most of the people that there would be consequences for are redacted. And yeah, there may be some PR hits for a lot of different people, which Bill Gates is one of those, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. And then I'll show you guys how all this is connected. But another reason for all these documents coming out at once with this huge dump of documents is because when nothing happens, what does it do? It resets the iOS. It allows everybody to feel like, you know what? All these things we already knew. We're kind of desensitized to it. So when we hear something new about cannibalism or child trafficking or something else, it's like, yeah, it's crazy, but we've heard this kind of stuff before, and everybody can move on from it way quicker. They're training us to not be sensitive to this type of information, I believe, personally. Let's hear what else he had to say. This is a former FBI agent.
Because that's not the point. This is a weaponized DOJ strategy of controlled confusion, and it's working perfectly. You see, they don't protect powerful people by erasing evidence. They protect them by releasing it slowly, by delaying key documents, by over-redacting names, and by letting the public fight over the scraps if we're not too distracted by the latest military invasion of a third world country or a major U.S. city.
Right.
Chaos becomes their cover.
I think he's 100% correct. There was another former CIA agent who they say was killed after exposing this, But he exposed how children get caught up in these situations. Like, and I thought what he said was very informative, excuse me. And I think that a lot of people have these questions of, how do children get caught in this? How do people not report their children missing? How do people, go without their children? Or how come we don't hear these stories more often about, hey, my kid was kidnapped or something like that? Mm-hmm. This CIA agent, this former CIA agent, he had a very interesting piece of information to explain why that is. And I want you guys to hear this because I thought it was very disturbing, but it's very informative. So listen to what he has to say, and I think it'll explain a lot for a lot of people.
These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them.
Do y'all understand? He's saying that children are being bred for the purpose of these different things. Like people are having babies. They're making these people have babies, or people that are just indoctrinated so early on. They're having the babies because imagine this. These weirdos are the first wave of kids. They take I'm just saying as a hypothetical, the first wave of kids, they take these kids from somebody. Those are kidnapped children from around the world, third world countries or whatever. And then those kids become adults. Then they breed those people to have those people have more kids. So those kids can be sold into the same ring. That way you don't have to go and constantly look for kids to kidnap. You could just breed them yourself. It's sick. It's sick stuff that's going on. Check it out.
That's true.
And have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture. That's because terrible. You have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. It's also the use of children for harvesting body organs. And then you have ritual ceremonies and ritual murder, as well as incidental murder. Most organizations that end up being used to prey on children, Oxfam is a recent example. All of the United Nations organizations, the Boy Scouts of America, all of the child services agencies across the United States of America, they did not start out as organizations to prey on children.
Right.
But they attract pedophiles.
Right.
And ultimately, pedophiles end up rising in the ranks and controlling those organizations.
Which makes a lot of sense.
So that an organization that initially started out in the service of children becomes an organization that is, in fact, hunting children.
Does that not make a lot of sense to you guys? Like these organizations are created and these weirdos rise to the ranks in these organizations because they're attractive organizations, because they help and they work with kids. So the weirdos out there, they find these organizations, according to this man, and they rise to the ranks in these organizations, and then they end up running these organizations, and then the entire organization ends up
being used to traffic and hide things because they got the keys to these big warehouses or keys to hidden places where they can do what they, buses, cars, the transportation system. We got keys to it. So we can transport these kids by using these vehicles. And I just work for the company. What?
Hunting children.
Hunting.
It's absolutely insane what's going on, man. And I think that, and salute to Tim Tebow, the former NFL quarterback, Tim Tebow, Florida Gator. He has a whole organization helping stop some of this. And he's one of the main people in the front holding the flag for we need to stop child trafficking and all this different stuff. So it's crazy things that's going on, man. Somebody that had to respond to the Epstein allegations was recently, actually, I think it was yesterday, Bill Gates. Bill Gates is seen in the Epstein files a lot. Obviously, if you've been paying attention by now, you know that Bill Gates has been named a lot in these different things. And he had to respond to what was going on and why is his name in it. And I'm going to show you why in a second, because his wife came out and made some statements, and I'm sure some of you guys saw it, but I'm going to give a quick synopsis and a recap for the ones that didn't. But listen to what Bill Gates had to say in response.
I spent with him, I regret and I apologize that I did that. It's factually true that I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. So, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior. So he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. In retrospect,
man, I don't believe this
that
dude.
was a dead end.
Of course, he gonna say that now. Of course, you saying that now when you caught, bro. You regret being caught. You didn't regret it when you was doing it. His wife came out and she made statements. And I don't know if you guys saw this. There was multiple interviews that Melinda French Gates has done. But this is one that stood out to me.
Widely reported that Bill had a friendship or business or some kind of contact with Jeffrey Epstein, and that you were not, that was very upsetting to you. Did that play a role in the divorce at all in this process?
Of course it did.
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing. It was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you were so dirty that your wife was like, yo, I got to leave you for this. Now, do I know if Melinda Gates was involved or anything like that? I don't know. But what I do know is she's speaking out against him and that whole situation. And I believe in this clip, she says she met Epstein herself as well. And I got a clip that I'm going to play you guys from a woman that's claiming to be Epstein's niece, where she explains his role in all of this. And she says that Epstein is just a very small part of this whole thing. But I want you guys to hear what Melinda Gates and Bill Gates had to say about this situation.
Mm-hmm. And you made that clear to him.
I made that clear to him. I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was.
Right.
And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified.
Wow.
I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, my heart breaks for these young women because that's how I felt. And here I'm an older woman.
Imagine
My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It's awful.
You felt that the moment you walked in. I didn't realize
was awful.
that. Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Notice that she nodded while she was asked that question, or while she was answering that question. Bill continued to spend time with him. Any of the questions, that's for Bill to answer. Yeah. And that's why Bill Gates has to come out and make a statement like this. You would assume, right? But it's never moral. It's never a moral reason why they come out and make these statements. And I'm going to show you guys why. But that's why Bill Gates come out saying this.
I was only at dinners. I never went to the island. I never met any women. So, the more that comes out, the more clear it'll be that although the time was a mistake, it had nothing to do with that kind of behavior.
3.5 million documents ain't enough that came out, Bill? I mean, at some point we got to say, yo, we got 3.5 million documents, Bill. Like, as more comes out, we don't need no more to come out, fool. We seen what we seen. What's he talking about?
Yeah, I met Jeffrey in 2011. The focus was always, he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health.
How did you meet him, and why would he trust you, and why would you trust him? I met him in 2011. How? Doing what? Why? Oh, because he knew a lot of rich people. That was my focus. You are Bill Gates. That's what you expect. That's the story you want us to sell. You trying to sell us the story that you needed? Like you know a lot of rich people. You're Bill Gates. You don't need you just saying, hey, Bill Gates want to have a conversation with you. On some level, pretty much anybody would pick up that phone, wouldn't you? Especially at that time in the past, 2011. Why did you need Jeffrey Epstein to introduce you to rich people when you were wasn't Bill Gates the richest man in the world at this point? Stop.
In retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him.
Everybody feels that way.
When they get caught. They always regret it when they get caught. I don't think it's so much about him regretting knowing Epstein. I think it's more so about Microsoft lost $400 billion in a few hours, according to reports. Now, they're going to blame this on other things, But you don't lose $400 billion in a few hours because of just random things. And this happened a couple days. This happened on 3 days ago. So yeah, you're gonna have to come out and make a statement. Somebody behind the scenes say, hey, you need to get out there and make a statement. Bill sounded terrified when he was making that statement to me. You sound scared, bro. And really, it's because them stockholders is pulling them stocks. $400 billion in a few hours. Now, Microsoft is a multi-trillion-dollar company, but still $400 billion in a few hours is nothing to sneeze at. But that's what the reports are saying. Microsoft loses $400 billion in a few hours. What's behind one of the worst stock market days for the company? They said that this is the biggest stock market loss, the biggest slide, which is a 12% slide. And it's the biggest plunge since March 2020 when COVID happened. So it's ridiculous. $424 billion lost in market value. Crazy. In one day, in a couple hours? That's why you coming out apologizing, bro. And let's stop pretending it's anything else. Because to do so will be to insult the intelligence of the American people. We're not stupid. We know if it make dollars, it makes sense. If it don't affect the money, you ain't about to say nothing. You ain't about to make no comments about nothing. Epstein was a dude that was tapped in with everybody, man. For whatever reason, I don't know how he got to these people. I don't know how he ended up in these rooms, but he was tapped in with everybody, man. I mean, you got pictures of Epstein and Michael Jackson together. What does Epstein need to be talking to Michael Jackson about? So when I see these stories, I'm like, there's more to this dude. We obviously can see that, but it's like, what's going on, man? Another Bill that Epstein was around constantly was Bill Clinton.
Fantasy Allen.
Bill Clinton, who's rampant in the Epstein files as well. He had a response when he was asked about the Epstein files, and this is what he had to say. Check it out.
Any comments on the allegation of your connection with Jeffrey Epstein?
Fantasy Allen.
I think the evidence is clear. That's what he said. And he gave that dark look. Look at that. Like, bro, yeah, the evidence is clear. Bill, we got all the evidence we need right here, brother. We see you in all the photos. We see all the redacted pictures and you hanging around this dude.
And I'm pretty sure they said no cameras.
Let's stop pretending.
No cameras, no video.
Look, that's Epstein, Bill Clinton, Diana Ross, Michael Jackson. And he's saying, I hardly knew him. Yeah, okay. You was around enough. You was around enough, man. A lot of these dudes, they'll say anything. They're professional liars, you guys. Katt Williams spoke about these guys previously. If you guys remember this, some of you guys remember watching these clips, and some of you guys don't. But if you don't remember, we'll refresh you and help you guys jog your memory real quick. Because Katt Williams is one of the few people that, in my opinion, is trustworthy. I don't think I've ever seen nobody willing to stand up and call these people out like Katt Williams has been in the very near past, right? So I want to show you guys some of the things that Katt Williams said. And Bill Clinton being in the Epstein files and that being his response when he was asked about it is very interesting, because I have a document that talks about Bill Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, and somebody else that Katt Williams had talked about recently in the past. And I thought we forgot about this and kind of overlooked it. But when you look back, it's like, dang, Katt was right again. Listen to this clip first from Katt, and then I'll show you guys the other one.
Right. I'm saying, but these Epstein-like characters have existed throughout history, whether they were kings or what, like.
I want you guys to remember that, how Katt Williams said these Epstein characters have existed throughout history, whether they were like kings or whatever. Because when I show you the clip from Epstein's alleged niece and her speaking about it, she said a very similar thing. She said that Jeffrey Epstein is the smallest of the Epsteins, and her father is actually one of the big dogs in that whole, she calls them a cult a satanic cult that they worship the false god Baal, which is where a lot of people believe the term ballroom comes from. But that's a whole nother story. But she said something very similar. She said that this is a generational thing and that Jeffrey was a scapegoat and a bunch of different things like that. Another truth that Katt Williams told was about Chris Tucker. Do you guys remember when Katt Williams did the interview with Shannon Sharp? He made a comment about Chris Tucker and Jeffrey Epstein having a relationship. Whoa. And we overlooked it.
Whoa.
Because it wasn't as prevalent with the files. Like what's going on with the files wasn't as prevalent then as it is now. But listen to what Katt Williams had to say. Watch what he had to say.
That's the gatekeeper.
About Chris Tucker.
The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey. Oh, Lord.
You hear that?
Do y'all remember that?
Ain't nobody know what it meant.
So I went, when I saw this, when this came back up, I went and looked. I wanted to find the actual document that Chris Tucker was on. And what I found was photographs of Chris Tucker, Bill Clinton, and this is the time that they were hanging out with Epstein, right? And they were on his jet. You can see a young Ghislaine Maxwell, who was said to be the right-hand woman and a woman that was doing as much as the weird stuff as Epstein was. And Chris Tucker was hanging out with these people at that time. And I think that what I'm about to read you guys is interesting because this is Katt Williams had this information before these files came out. So it got to be something. I'm just curious where he got it. I would love to have a conversation with Katt. This is the file. I got the file right here. The original document from the DOJ, where it says what attracted Bill Clinton to Jeffrey Epstein was quite simple. He had a plane. He has a couple, in fact. The Boeing 727, in which Bill Clinton was on with Jeffrey Epstein that they took to Africa. He had a black Gulfstream Cessna 421, and he had a helicopter to ferry him to his island in St. Thomas. Bill Clinton had organized a week-long tour of South Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, Rwanda, Mozambique, etc., to do what Bill Clinton does. So when the president's advanced man, Doug Band, pitched the idea to Epstein, he said, sure. As an added bonus, Kevin Spacey, a close friend of Bill Clinton's, and actor Chris Tucker came along for the ride. I'm just curious why. I'm trying to put myself, and I'm going to show you guys what Chris Tucker said in response to this. But I'm trying to put myself in those shoes. If I'm Kevin Spacey or I'm Chris Tucker and Bill Clinton like, yo, come take a ride with us, I would be like, to do what? Why does the former president want me to get on a plane with him and Epstein to ride anywhere to do what? To go to Africa and do what? According to the document, while Epstein got an intellectual kick out of engaging African finance ministers in theoretical chit-chat about economic development, the real payoff for him was observing Bill Clinton talk about HIV and AIDS policies with African leaders and soaking up the love from Cape Town to Lagos. So I still don't understand what Chris Tucker would possibly need to be there for. Maybe you guys can help me, but I don't see it. I don't understand. Chris Tucker did respond to this. And of course, like everybody else who was around Epstein and has some type of close tie to him, Chris Tucker said he didn't really know the guy. Just like that's like the generic response, bro. Do y'all have anything else? Listen to what Chris Tucker said.
You knew Jeffrey Epstein, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. We flew Bill Clinton and a lot of different. That was a humanitarian trip to Africa, and I met him on that trip because it was his plane. I didn't know who plane we was getting on, but it was a whole bunch of dignitary people. We was with a delegation, and I met him, and you don't know people what they do in their private lives, so.
You was a part of his private life. Apparently, I don't know. Who knows, man? Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's everything.
No, I told y'all.
Anybody that was around that man, anybody in these files, we got to ask, bro.
I told y'all, a lot of people went places. I mean, the rich folks, we rubbing elbows. Oh, this is an opportunity. I'm free. I ain't got nothing to do. This is an opportunity to build with the president or rub elbows with the right people. I'm still trying to get my career going. You rubbing elbows with the wrong people. That's why you where you at now. That is why you where you at now, Chris. Oh my God.
Russell Wilson, NFL quarterback Russell Wilson, was involved in the files, and he came out and made it very clear, hey, I had nothing to do with that man. I tried to buy a plane from somebody. I was looking to buy a jet. I didn't know that he was selling a jet. He was very straightforward and got to it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these other dudes, they just like, yeah, I was around him. Yeah, I was around him. I don't have nothing to say, but you know.
But
yes,
yeah.
I did know him.
See what happened.
So maybe that's why we getting Katt Williams making these statements right here.
The Chris Tucker that we got now is Epstein Island Chris Tucker, not Smokey.
I mean, maybe there's something to it. Maybe there's nothing. But I don't think Katt Williams speaks for no reason. I think when he says something. And then the picture from that day with Chris Tucker and Ghislaine Maxwell. I mean, why would you want to take a picture with Ghislaine? I got questions, man. I don't know anything about any of these people. I don't know these dudes. I don't trust these dudes.
But the problem is she probably wanted to take a picture with him. He's the superstar. So I'm not going to be mean to these people. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture with him. Yeah, I'm taking a picture. I mean, that's his girlfriend. These are the big wigs. You want to take a picture with Uncle Mike? No problem. Come on. I don't know what you do. Dude, I just took the picture with the lady. I ain't know she was into traffic. You know, I don't like traffic. Oh, my God.
Dudes, I always tell you guys my biases. Ice Cube is somebody that I'm always going to say favorable things about. He just put me on his new album, by the way. Salute to Ice Cube. I'm on track 10 of his new album. It's a song called California Dreaming. You'll hear my voice on the beginning of that track.
What? Okay.
So
Kudos.
I always got a bias towards
you.
Ice Cube because of that. He would have to do something devastating to me for me to be like, nah, man, Ice Cube wrong. Same thing with 50. 50 has always shown me love, and I got relationships with a lot of the G Unit guys. Those are real dudes. So I can vouch for them dudes. I don't have a relationship with Katt Williams. I would love to interview him, though. But Ice Cube did respond to this whole Epstein situation, and I want you guys to hear what he had to say about it as well, because I thought his response was very Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Cube. Check it out.
Some of you may not have realized
we ain't even part of the clique.
That I'm not part of the club.
The clique.
And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now.
Yeah, I know.
You're not part of the club either.
Right.
And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club.
There you go. That is what make them mad. Notice the people that they always say are haters, crazy, conspiracy theorists, the Candace Owens. They say it about Candace Owens. They say it about 50 Cent. He a hater. Everything is about him being a hater. He can't say nothing about nobody unless he a hater. Katt Williams. Oh, he a hater. Ice Cube. Like, it's almost like a good thing. It's like a badge of honor if they say these type of things about you.
That pisses them off.
They want you to want to be with
What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man. Stop playing.
You know who it is.
So
that's what Ice Cube had to say about this whole situation, man. And I agree with Cube 100%. They want you to be a part of them. That's the only way they have power. It's like, I don't want, look, people would say that 50 Cent, for example, is a hater because he always talking about Jay-Z and I would say this in response. If I told you that you could have, let's say, 500 million. We'll give you $500 million, right? Would you be mad at the person that has 2.5 billion? Like, you get 500 million, you get to keep your soul, but you'll never be a part of the in crowd. We're going to give this other person 2.5 billion, but they always got questionable things around them. They're going to be called questionable things, you know, say that they mess with children, multiple young girls. They're going to be said that they were around a bunch of billionaire weirdos. And these weirdos are all accused and seem to be in some sort of circle of child trafficking or something like that. It like, what would you do? What path would you take? So when I look at Cube and 50 and Katt Williams, I look at guys that they still made hundreds of millions of dollars. They just didn't take the billionaire leap. Is it worth it? Is it that serious to take the billionaire leap and sell your soul? There's a scripture in the Bible that all of us know. What does it profit a man to gain the world but lose his soul? And God don't have nothing against abundance. God is the God of abundance. Everybody would agree with that. You breathing an abundance of air right now. So God don't have no problem with you. In fact, God said he gives you the power to get wealth. In Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18, 19, 17 through 19. Go read it. Remember the Lord your God, for it is he who gives you the power to generate wealth. That's what it says. The blessings of the Lord increase riches, and he adds no sorrow to them. Abraham was very rich in cattle and silver and gold. Like, God don't have no problem. Jesus taught 16 of his 38 parables about money and said, multiply everything that you get. Be fruitful and multiply. Multiply the money that you get. When God give you this, God don't have no problem with that. But what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? It's when you put money and you put clout, attention, fame, and worldly success above the riches that come from God. That's when it becomes a problem, because now you're worshiping it. There's two sides of the Illuminati. And I'm about to show you guys Jeffrey Epstein himself talking about it, which a lot of people want to overlook. But I thought that this was an extremely important portion of the Epstein files that came out that nobody wants to talk about for whatever reason. This is one of his last interviews, if not his last interview. And he openly talked about something called the Trilateral Commission, which is still in place today. I actually have a full article on it right here. And I don't have time to go through the members and all that, but I'll put a link to it in the comments if you want to go check it out for yourself. Listen to what Epstein had to say about this Trilateral Commission. I believe that this is the white side of the Illuminati, and the Boule Society is the black side of the Illuminati, which we're going to talk about in a second. Check it out.
He formed something called the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission is some spooky stuff. People said it was some of the people that the Illuminati, there's some mystery about it, people that ran the world.
He openly talking about this. Could this be a reason, if he is not here any longer, could this be a reason why?
Man, we got to get rid of you,
who knows?
Bro.
Let's see what he got to say.
It was politicians, but David said most countries, the politicians get elected for 4 years or 8 years, separate from the royal families in England or in the Middle East. Someone's there for 4 years and then they're not there anymore. The most important people to have stability and consistency would be businessmen. So he formed this Trilateral Commission of businessmen and politicians from 3 major continents. So it was
crazy. He just
North American, the Europeans, and the Asians.
Think about that.
So he said,
think about that. Politicians, businessmen, some of the most influential people in the world. You don't think that they have some type of sect for entertainers? You don't think so? Why wouldn't they? Entertainment is the greatest export America got. We don't produce nothing, but we produce entertainers. We don't have a whole bunch of natural resources, but guess what natural resource we do have? Distraction and entertainment. Even the presidential elections are entertaining to the other countries in the world.
That's a good point.
All of this is crazy. He's just openly talking about it, man. Let's keep going.
To me, would you like to be on the Trilateral Commission? No. I was 30 years old, 32 years old. I said, great. And he said, well, you have to fill out this application So they have your bio. And I looked at the list of people, and it was Bill Clinton, former president of the United States.
Wow. See how it all ties together?
Volcker, every great leader in America, the Asians, the Japanese, and with a very long description of their history. And they asked me to fill in what I would like to have written. And I wrote Jeffrey Epstein, comma, just a good kid.
Do you guys understand what he's talking about right now?
Nope.
And do you understand the power of these people? See, and this is why I keep telling you guys, stop that left, right, Republican, Democrat. Stop the nonsense, bro. It's one bird, two wings. But it's still one bird. And when you hear them talk about it this openly, behind the scenes, these people are collaborating. This is why you see Trump and Obama, no matter what they say about each other in the media, you see them rubbing elbows at John McCain's funeral and laughing with each other. Sitting right next to each other. Meanwhile, you about to cut your cousin off because they voted for Trump, or you about to disown your kid because they say they like Obama.
Dang.
You arguing with somebody about politics, and the whole time these politicians are trying to figure out behind the scenes how they can come together to control the world on 100-year plans. That's what's really going on, bro. But ignorance is bliss. Some people like being caught up in the Matrix. Like the Matrix in the movie The Matrix, they said that. Some people will fight to defend the Matrix because it gives them their comfort. You don't remember when Buddy in the Matrix, if you've seen the movie, when he was eating the holographic steak and he like looking at the steak and he like, I know it's not real, but why does it taste so good? That's a lot of y'all.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny. Nobody else did.
He ironically said, I wrote Jeffrey Epstein, just a good kid. And I thought it was funny, but nobody else did. Because he know he on some BS with that.
So answer to quick.
It's crazy, man.
He formed something called the
It's crazy. Like I said, I have an article on what he's talking about, the Trilateral Commission, which is still in place right now. And its members and different things like that. They have it. It's public knowledge. They have a website. You can go check it out. And I'll put a link to it in the description. But I want to show you guys another clip real quick of this woman that's claiming to be Epstein's niece. And she's saying that she has some behind the scenes information on how all this works, and nobody believes her because of who it is, but yada, yada, yada. But I want you guys to be able to hear from her and deduce your own opinions from what she says. Check this out.
That's Sean Otwood's channel, man. I used to be on that channel a whole lot. I need to go check that channel out again, man. So shout out to Sean Otwood. He put out some good stuff also, y'all.
Foreign and entertainers.
I think the viewers would be very curious then about Jeffrey and what's your view on his role in the apparatus?
My understanding is that he, I met him in Aspen in 2007. And that was a reintroduction. My father said, "Hey, remember your Uncle Jeffrey?" And Jeffrey said, "Hey, Anya, it's great to see you again." Jelaine was there. What they told me was that Jeffrey worked for Stephen. And as I've said, he is guilty for what he did to those teenage girls here in New York City and down in Florida.
Clearly.
And St. Andrews.
Which we already knew.
But I do not believe he was in charge of orchestrating what has been going on in our family for generations.
Generations, she said this has been going on. So when you hear Ice Cube say this is one big club and he not part of the club, you got to know who the
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either.
That's what he's talking about. There's a club. These people have 100-year plans. So when she's disclosing this and she's saying, hey, it's generational, and you hear Katt Williams also saying in the clip that I played you guys that, hey, this has been going on since kings and queens days, which there's still kings and queens out there. But, you know, this has been going on since thousands of years. There's been Epsteins throughout the generations. She's confirming that. If this is truly, if she is who she says she is, which I've listened to a few different things from her, and I believe she's credible. I'm trying to get an interview with her for you guys.
With my experiences, I believe he wanted to talk more about the other parties involved. And I know he didn't kill himself.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether they let him go and get plastic surgery and flee the country, or if they did kill him. But I do believe he was a pawn, and that his story blew up in the media to keep people from looking beyond him. If Jeffrey was the one villain
that makes a lot
in charge of it, then, oh, he's dead. It's all over. Everything's good now.
Right.
And that leaves my father free to continue 3-year-olds.
Wow.
And running Viacom from behind a veil.
Wow.
While his paralegal runs his divorce practice.
She says that her father, who's the big OG Epstein, according to her, is running Viacom behind the scenes. That's what her words are. Viacom is a huge company. If you don't know who Viacom is, go look it up and see all the companies that they own, all the media companies that they own. But she says that she believes Jeffrey Epstein was a pawn, that it's like, okay, Epstein's, we could say that he's dead. According to her, give him some plastic surgery or let him go to another country and live the rest of his life out or whatever. And if he's gone, then nobody else keeps looking because, oh, he was the big fish. We got him. That sounds reasonable to me. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but to me, that sounds reasonable. Now, we talked about the Trilateral Commission and Epstein spoke about it and we went through that. Now, there's a black side of the Illuminati called the Boule. Allegedly. We don't know, but this is what people say. And so there's been articles done about this society. It's a black secret society of elites called the Boule. If you never heard of the Boule, according to the article, that's probably because it's by design, officially known as Sigma Pi Phi. The Boule was founded in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in 1904 by Dr. Henry McKee Minton and 5 of his colleagues. I actually remember watching The Godfather of Harlem. You guys seen that with Forrest Whitaker? And there was a few episodes where it reminded me of this, where Forrest Whitaker, who plays Bumpy Johnson in the series, went and talked to some guys that looked like these guys, and they were judges and they were, politicians, and they were like, we're a secret society. We're going to work with you. We're going to help you out, but we can't never have it come back to us and da-da-da-da-da. And Bumpy had to take like a blood oath, and it was like very mob style type of things going on behind there. And so they have a council of what they call a council of chiefs or advisor to kings. And so the Boule was, for much of its existence, an elite, invitation-only secret society for black men of high regard. Members are chosen based on their professional accomplishments and community standing. Who does that sound like? That sounds like a lot of our entertainers, right? From the Diddy's to the Jay-Z to you get chosen, which one of our more influential figures has tatted on his back. Who's the guy with chosen tatted on his back, but also has the symbol of the Boule tatted on his chest? LeBron James.
Okay.
Remember, he tweeted Saturday, I took a Pilates class, yoga classes, swimming at auditoriums back home. I can't tell you exactly where it was at. It's a secret place. We hold a secret society over there. We don't tell too many people. You remember when Jay-Z was saying, we gonna start a society within society. That's major. It's like the Negro Leagues. There was a time America wouldn't let us, whatever. Those times are now back. It's now called Afrotech. Generational wealth. That's the key. My parents ain't have ish, so that shift started with me. So a lot of these people wouldn't be, you're not thinking about it because you're like, yeah, they black successful, black power, black this, black that. This is why you will see probably, maybe, possibly Sean Combs, Diddy, getting that honorary degree, honorary doctorate degree, PhD from Harvard. This is why you see a lot of stuff going on, maybe. So in 2011, a political researcher and speaker named Steve Coakley called the Boule an illegal criminal enterprise full of black complicity in this centralization of worldwide power, the New World Order. So he's the first one to say these people are not just they're not just successful black people coming together. They're actually the black side of the Illuminati, essentially. Coakley accused the Boule of being in cahoots with white power structures to keep wealth and power limited to a very small part of the population. This is something that I've heard Dame Dash say about Jay-Z. And people say, oh, Dame is a hater. They say everybody's a hater that says anything. But Dame said that people believe that they can become successful. And the reason that these people are put in these positions is for this reason, to make people believe that you could do what Jay-Z did. You could do what Sean Diddy Combs did. You could do what LeBron did. But what those dudes did behind the scenes, you're not willing to do. And he likened it to being slaves on the plantation. He said, Dame said, it's like being a slave in the field. And then one gets elevated to the house and you go, see, and the master tell you, see, if you just do what this one did, you'll come in the house one day too. But they're never going to let you in the house because you're in the field and you're always going to be in the field. And you'll never be nothing more than that. And they don't want you to be nothing more than that. They only got this one guy right here to give you a figurehead to say, hey, if you do the things that we want you to do and keep doing it the way we tell you to do it, one day you'll benefit from it. Just like this guy, this one that we put here. But their goal is only to have that one there. And he was talking about Jay-Z in this situation. Jay-Z is somebody that's been accused over the years. And we've heard these accusations about Jay of, being in the Illuminati. And so there was one reporter, one writer that wrote about Jay-Z having, his name is Mitchell Horowitz. Mitchell Horowitz wrote that Jay-Z is a master of occult wisdom. Right? And this is an old article. He's been saying this for a decade. In an interview, Horowitz pointed out Jay-Z's use of the phrase, quote, peace God as an allusion to the 5 percenters, also known as the nations of the gods and earths. They teach that the original black man is God and that all men are potentially God. Peace God is a typical 5 percenter greeting. Okay? People knew that. People knew Jay-Z might have been around the 5 percenter. We've seen the chains that he would wear and different things like that. Horowitz said a phrase like peace God doesn't find its way into someone's vernacular by accident. He's making a very definitive statement. Jay-Z's connection to the occult may extend a bit further. Said in the video for Run This Town, he's pictured wearing a sweatshirt with the phrase do what thou wilt printed across the chest. Yes, this is what Horowitz said. He said, yes, that has very deep roots in modern occult culture. The full expression is do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. That was one of the key maxims of the British occultist Aleister Crowley. So when Jay-Z appears in a hoodie with the phrase on it in public, that's exactly what he's referencing, according to Horowitz. He said, I would say that a figure like Jay-Z is probably borrowing some of this material. And he said, I think he's a very shrewd man. I think he's a keen observer of everything going on around him. He's a master at using subversive imagery. You do not find your way to 5 percenter material unless you're very aware of what's going on around you. So Jay is somebody that has been accused of being in this elite fraternity for years, which some of you guys, I see you guys a lot in the comments. And I know that you guys have always said, look into the Boule. And I've done videos on the Boule and different things like that before. But with Epstein saying what he said about the Trilateral Commission, it naturally leads us to talk more about the Boule, right? 50 Cent has responded, and he's calling Jay-Z, or insinuating Jay-Z is a predator as well, which we've heard these different things about Hov, being in that spotlight. And like I always say, man, we have the right to ask questions about anybody. I don't care who. I don't care if it's Jay-Z. People ask questions about Jesus Christ and want confirmation on those things before they just believe it. So you think we not going to question Jay-Z? Get up out of here, man. 50 Cent posted this picture of Jay-Z, his face photoshopped on Predator, the movie, if you know the movie Predator. So 50 is funny for this. And so 50 said, I know you're going to say I'm a hater, but what do you say about what he's saying, fool? LOL. He said, get your ass down the street. And what he's referring to, because he was playing a song, I can't play it on the live stream or they'll take the live stream down, but 50 was playing a song from Jay-Z and Pharrell, in which Jay-Z has some lyrics that were very questionable to people. The song is called Young Girl. Okay? / I Really Like You. But the song is called Young Girl. And Jay-Z comes in verse 3, right? And his lyrics are, Hov got a young girl. Hov got a young girl. Still not quite 21. So high strong, such a vibrant thing. I introduced myself. Hi, Miss Thing. You're 19. You're lightning in a bottle. I'll give you a ring tomorrow. The scene that follows screams of horror. Classic Stephen King novel. What does that mean? What does that mean? Hov got a young girl. Hov got a young girl. Still not quite 21. So high strong, such a vibrant thing. I'll introduce myself. Hi, Miss Thing. You're 19. No, you're lightning in a bottle. I'll give you a ring tomorrow. The scenes that follow screams of horror. Classic Stephen King novel. What? What is he talking about? What is Jay talking about when he write that? Mind you, this song came out in 2006. Jay-Z in 2006 was 37 years old. Talking about a 19-year-old girl. Writing like, what is this about? What does those lyrics mean? Somebody explain it. And that's what 50 is saying. What is he saying right here? Y'all talking about I'm a hater for what I'm saying, but what is Jay saying on these lyrics? If you can't get mad at some things and not get and look, man, if you're gonna call out some stuff, you got to call out everything. Don't pick and choose. It's like when people say, why don't you say nothing about Donald Trump? Bro, I put a bunch of videos about Donald Trump and the Epstein files up. You don't watch them. It's not my fault that you watch this one and you don't watch that one. Says the lyrics from Jay-Z said, Mama don't think you should date someone so advanced in romance. You should just wait. Maybe he's talking about Beyonce in these lyrics, because I know it seems like Beyonce's mom never likes Jay-Z. She always liking things that when Jay-Z got accused of essaying a little girl with Diddy, and remember that lawsuit, and Tina Knowles liked the post, and I guess Jay had to call her and ask her to stop doing that type of stuff or something. That's how she said it. She was like, Jay asked me to stop liking that stuff. I don't know what I'm doing, but you kind of constantly do it. Anyways.
Yeah.
The lyrics say, Mama don't think you should date someone so advanced in romance. You should just wait. Papa don't preach. Hov don't.
Talking about the mother. She's the one. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just you liking the post. You liking it means that you. I don't know. It's almost like you shouldn't like it because it's something against the family, so to speak.
Don't bite. Hov been. You kind of constantly do it. Anyways. The lyrics say, Mama don't think you should date someone so advanced in romance. You should just wait. Papa don't preach. Hov don't bite. Hov been through it. I might mold your life. Plus, I'm going to show you, right? Proper etiquette, how to hold your knife. Keep you competitive with Oprah's ice. These are Jay-Z lyrics. Oprah, somebody else has been tied, and people have said that she's just as involved in the Epstein stuff as anybody else. Keep you competitive with Oprah's ice. Be like Janet. Take control of your life. When people hear these lyrics, they go, yeah, he got to be talking about Beyonce, because before Jay-Z, Beyonce used to do interviews. She used to talk. We used to see her in public. I always thought it was weird, too, that Beyonce, out of Beyonce and Jay, who do you think benefits more from that relationship, business-wise? I would say Jay. Because when your wife is invited to the White House to sing and she asks, can I bring my husband? Nobody could say no. I think a lot of people that's around this, and I did this in the breakdown in the live stream that we did about the women, the female Epsteins. I believe that a lot of people don't like Jay-Z behind the scenes, but they tolerate him because Beyonce. Imagine Jay-Z without Beyonce right now.
Wow.
Career-wise. When I did, there was a report that Jay-Z was accused of money laundering, and I did a live stream on that. And if you remember, the politicians that were accusing him of money laundering through his nightclubs and different businesses for the Mexican cartel, go watch that live stream that I did on Jay-Z and the money laundering stuff. When he was accused of that, the politician said that one of the key tokens that he was using to get them to do what he wanted them to do, that he was bribing them with, I'll let you meet Beyonce. And the politician, he was trying to get them to vote for his casino to pass. And they said, no, I don't want to meet Beyonce. And they put him on blast and did articles and interviews about it. So like, nobody's hating on Jay. I love Jay music. But what is these lyrics talking about right here? Somebody explain it to me. And that's what 50 Cent is saying when he posted this. He had the song playing behind this picture. And this is why Jay has been accused of being a predator so much. To be honest with you, he got accused, like, bro, Foxy Brown, Aaliyah, Beyonce, Rihanna, the Rymir Satterthwaite's mom, the kid that, the guy that, or the man, he's a man now, but the man that's saying that he's Jay-Z's son and Jay-Z won't take the DNA test. And he's been trying to get Jay-Z to take a DNA test for years in court, filing lawsuits and different things, everything that he can think. Not looking for money, just looking for a paternity test that Jay-Z refuses to take. All these different women that Jay has been around, that people have made rumors that he was sleeping with them or messing with them, not sleeping with them, but maybe messing with them or courting them or grooming them before they was 18. You get these allegations a lot, bro. You're around every person that's named in these files. Bobby Shmurda had responded to 50 Cent posting this. Bobby Shmurda, another rapper. If you guys don't remember, if some of you guys don't know who Bobby Shmurda is, but for my ones that don't, it's just caught a body about a week ago. Y'all remember that about 10 years ago. He had that huge song where everybody was doing his dance. And he said to 50 Cent in response to this, you the realest OG in the game. Facts. The rest of these N-words is P-U-S-S-Y. He said, F Jay-Z and the whole Op Nation, talking about Rock Nation, Jay-Z's company. Bobby Shmurda was around Jay-Z and signed to Rock Nation, and he said that he believed that Jay-Z was sabotaging his career and fueling allegations around Meek Mill and Diddy rumors as well, because Diddy and Bobby Shmurda walked away from Jay-Z. So Bobby Shmurda questioned the legitimacy of the rumors surrounding an alleged relationship between Meek Mill and Diddy during an interview that he did. He said the allegations the Diddy allegations and Meek Mill stem from some lawsuits that happened saying that Diddy and Meek Mill was sleeping together or something like that. And Meek has some weird pictures matching outfits with Diddy. So that's a whole nother story. But Bobby Shmurda said, I'm going to tell you what's going on with Meek Mill. I left the team that Meek was on.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here thinking about Jaguar. Meek Milk. She said milk. Come on, Meek Mills. Everybody know the street code. If you supposed to be cool, you supposed to be a gangster. You don't dress like another man. Dressing like another man, dog. Hey, unless you like that man, you must really like that man. Sleep with him, get pajamas together.
Meek left that team.
Meek.
Talking about Rock Nation.
Milk.
Bobby Shmurda said, if you leave that team, Meek they come milk. For you. Okay. He said, it's like a relationship with these labels. It's like leaving a girl with a lot of power. She's going to try to make your life a living hell. She's like, we own the internet. We're going to spread all the rumors about you. I'm going to pay for 3,000 comments making jokes, bots. He also revealed that he's been through something similar. He said, they tried to call me gay. I F the most women ever. Like, come on. For real, I'm not even mad at them doing it. It's the ones that believe it that he's mad at. Okay. And so Bobby Shmurda said, he tried to ruin, when I didn't want to be signed to Jay-Z anymore, he tried to ruin my career. I would ask questions. When I see this type of thing, I always go back to, how come J. Cole never talks about being signed to Jay-Z and how much he loved it? How come Rihanna never comes out and you don't see them around Jay? 50 Cent made a comment saying that Jay don't be around nobody that's not making them cool. And we just saw something I don't have queued up, but we just saw La Russell, a rapper from the Bay, young rapper from the Bay, who has made his name very big off of being an independent, he just signed to Jay-Z and Roc Nation. So salute to Lil Russell. Lil Russell, L.A. If you guys don't know, Lil Russell is spelled with an L.A., not Little Russell, Lil Russell. He dope. And he from the coast. But I think that it's interesting that he signed over there and he's excited about it. And he said that his mom, in an interview that he just did, he said his mom was pretty worried about him signing over there because of everything that comes out, all the information around Jay. And I don't think that Lil Russell's going to have a problem over there while he's signed to Jay-Z. I think the interesting thing about Roc Nation, everybody over there, it seems to only be a problem when people try to leave. When people try to walk away from doing business with them is when you start to see a problem. And that's what Bobby Shmurda is saying right here as well. So as a side note, I hope Lil Russell, I hope you have all the success over there in the world, bro. And I really do love what you're doing. And I got a lot of respect for Lil Russell. But, you know, over there, they have a reputation, bro. So, and they tried to screw Lil Russell before, he said, but he ended up getting the business right with him or whatever. So God bless you, bro. I hope that you do what you can do over there and you know, take it to the moon. Because I do think he's a good dude. Now, Jay has been around pretty much all of these different predators, to be honest with you. These dudes, there's no other way to describe these dudes. Harvey Weinstein, R. Kelly, different things like that. Bill Gates, Jay was around, right? We saw Bill Gates and Jay-Z together. Let me see if I got that clip queued up for you guys. Bill Gates and Jay-Z was around together in the studio. Give me 1 second. Let me show you guys the clip back in the day. And we talked about Bill Gates a lot on this live stream here. Look at this video of Bill Gates and Jay-Z in the studio together.
Big pimpin', I'm Bill D. Big pimpin', yeah, you know me. Got it. Killed it.
You see, so like Jay was around.
Billy G. Hey, let me get one thing straight with you. You can retire and then unretire? Exactly. Gotta keep them guessing. Thanks, Jay.
So Jay and Bill Gates been around each other. You've been around, you in the Epstein files for whatever he was accused of doing some stuff with Harvey Weinstein in the Epstein files. And then if you go just Google, a simple Google search of Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein, and you'll see that Jay got 100, he got more pictures with Harvey Weinstein than I got with my dad. Like, and my dad raised me. My dad was a very present father. But dang, Jay, like you got a bunch of pictures with Harvey Weinstein. Dame Dash put up a post saying that he smacked Harvey Weinstein back in the day over something that happened over, I guess Harvey Weinstein was being perverted with a woman or something like that on the Paid in Full set. Paid in Full is a movie that Dame Dash was creating at that time. Dope movie, hood classic in general, not just a hood classic. It's a classic in general. But Dame Dash responded to slapping Harvey Weinstein. He put this video up and he always tries to separate himself from what Jay was doing in business to what he was doing in business. And some of it's valid. A lot of it is valid because Dame always seems to be on the right side of history. He always sounds like people try to paint him as a hater, at least. He always sounds like he has something disgruntled to say in the moment. But when history looks back, they always go, Dame was right about this.
Because there are women that are being abused. So, and I'm, you know me, I'm all about investing in women. I would never violate. I do shoot my shot, but no is no.
That's right.
You know, so, you know, morally, he shouldn't have did that, or he might not have been tried to like say certain things. But I would never do anything that's against the law, and I would never violate.
I don't think people know. One time you pressed Harvey Weinstein for harassing a woman on set or something like that, right? Or am I getting the story wrong?
Stuff like that. You know, it was things like that. A couple different reasons I pressed him. I used to press him a lot. Yeah. But you know, we were in the same circle. You know what I mean? We owned a club together called Socialista, but I never seen him put up his bread. And he used to be doing slick shit in the bathroom. I'm like, what are you doing, man?
Who, Harvey? What you mean slick stuff in the
so
bathroom?
Dame was around.
In the kitchen. I'd be like, I can't even eat in the kitchen because I don't want to get it.
What do you mean?
I used to press him.
I don't know. I think Cam or somebody told that story. You pressed him because he was harassing a woman or something. You was like, not here on this set or something like that.
Well, that was another situation. Somebody got smacked on the Paid in Full set, but it was.
That's what it was. Yeah, Dave. I don't know if it was you. Somebody smacked Harvey for doing that.
I didn't. Nobody. It wasn't like that, but somebody got smacked. But
so this story has been going around hip hop for a long time. Since Cameron said it in a song, he said some lyrics about this in the song, and so Dame was like, he posted this on Instagram, like, yeah, I smacked Harvey Weinstein. He always said that Jay-Z was weird when it came to these predators, and that kind of caused a rift in their relationship as well, because Jay-Z wanted to do business with R. Kelly after knowing that R. Kelly was a predator. Dame said this in an interview. I don't know if you guys ever seen this.
Yeah. Check this out.
R. Kelly, there was a conversation had about the moralness. Like, it's morally wrong to do a project with someone that we know raped my girl or raped anybody for that matter. So I do know that conversation was had, and I was really surprised that he moved forward with that relationship. I don't know Epstein, so I never had the chance to.
Imagine if your homie, your business partner, somebody you consider your best friend, find out that your girlfriend was raped by somebody else, and they like, I rock with him, no, bro. Like, bro, you gonna be like, what?
Walk away from him. But I do know that when that project did come out,
See if we can get this to play. He essentially just said when the project came out with Jay-Z and R. Kelly that he didn't want to have nothing to do with it.
I didn't want any part of that project. I didn't want any of the money to go to Rockefeller or me when it came to Rockefeller. It was around the time that Jay was trying to kind of separate himself from us. And he was saying that he didn't want to be a part anymore. And we resolved that issue with, look, if you want, because he wanted me to dilute and he wanted Biggs to dilute. And I wasn't diluting because I know what I mean and what I do for business. But
so that's pretty much what he was saying. Somebody else that said Jay-Z was weird for the R. Kelly, being around R. Kelly and these predators and different things like that was Nas. Y'all remember when Nas had this to say about Jay-Z?
No movies. I said, that's not my style. That's not what I'm going to do. Could I put up movies? I could have showed the R. Kelly video that everybody's talking about, made fun of it, and said, yo, Jay's hanging out. When Jay and I was in there doing Best of Both Worlds, you can't tell me Jay didn't see a 14-year-old girl come in the studio and shit on R. Kelly's lap. No. You can't tell me, you want to tell me that working on that album, that he ain't never seen no 14-year-old girl come in the vicinity?
My belief is that anybody who's worked with him and been in his cipher has seen it go down.
You've seen it go down.
Yeah.
It's wrong.
You seen it go down. It's wrong, Nas said. And I believe that. I don't believe you could do a tour and 2 albums. I think Jay and R. Kelly did 2 albums together or 1. And y'all in the studio together that much. That's what Nas is saying when he says best of both worlds. That's what it was called. And so you doing tours and albums with this dude, you ain't never seen nothing. And then how does your name keep popping up around all the predators, bro? Harvey Weinstein, Epstein, Bill Gates, R. Kelly. Like, at some point, we got to sit back and say, hold on, bro, we got to question this. This is not normal. Like, you don't normally isolated incident where it's like, okay, well, you know, he was doing business with Harvey Weinstein. Everybody was doing films with Harvey Weinstein. It makes sense. Okay, cool. Well, you was around Bill Gates too. Okay. In isolation, nothing looks weird. Then you was around R. Kelly too. In the midst of R. Kelly's wildest allegations, where there was the tape that was running around the streets and you knew about this, and everybody knew about R. Kelly marrying Aaliyah when she was 15 years old and sleeping with her and different things like that. And you still, and then Dame is saying like, yo, behind the scenes, I was telling them like, I ain't cool with this. I don't think we should do this business wise. And you like, nah, we're going to do it anyway. And then all the other stuff that just comes surrounding it. The rumors of the women that were young women before they were teenagers, allegedly, when Jay was around them. At some point, we got to be like, you know, we got to be able to question this stuff. I know he rap good. Jay rap dope. He rap. He in the top 10 rappers, top 5 rappers, maybe for some people all time. As far as being able to rap, we know you make good songs, bro. R. Kelly makes great songs. R. Kelly is the greatest. I think R. Kelly is the greatest songwriter of all time. Am I not going to listen to Step in the Name of Love just because R. Kelly's a pervert? Allegedly. Which I think I don't even know if I have to say allegedly, but I'll say it for the sake of safety. Do I not listen to Step in the Name of Love or Chocolate Factory? I'm still going to listen to it. I love the music. But does that mean I'm going to negate the fact that you a perv? Or say like, nah, that ain't really, he ain't that. Bro, where there's smoke, there is fire. Fire. And I ain't going to allow me or anybody else to that listens to me to think that it's not. And saying that we haters and we want to see Jay-Z down bad and we hate black people, and come on. Nobody hates black people. Nobody want to see Jay-Z fail or fall for the sake of his name being Jay-Z. I'm rich too, bro. I'm not poor. Like, I'm gonna be real with y'all. We in my mansion right now. I'm in the office of my mansion right now. I'm not poor. It goes back to the question that I asked earlier in the live stream. If you have $500 million, are you jealous of the guy that got $2 billion? No, we live in the same lifestyle, bro. There's nothing in the world let me tell you guys something, man. After a certain amount of millions, there's nothing in the world that you can't buy. There's nothing after 100 million. Maybe it's about 100 million. There's nothing in the world that you can't do that anybody else in the world can't do. It all becomes a play for power at that point.
True.
That's all we plan for at that point. Who can get more power than other people? Because we can't financially. I know it's hard to fathom for a lot of people, but there's some things that money, like it's just money, man. After a certain amount of money, you stop being jealous of people with money because what can you buy that I can't buy? Things only cost so much. So why would I be jealous of you because you have money? It don't make sense. But people can't fathom that because when you don't have much, it makes it hard to believe. But that's the truth, guys. So ain't nobody just hating on these people. This is just what's really going on. It's weird stuff going on, man. And the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 11, man, have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds, the fruitless deeds. There's nothing, meaning that these things produce nothing. These deeds produce nothing. The fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. That's what I do on this platform. I try to show you guys what true success is and what's the illusion of success. What's the optical illusion of this? That's not real. Success without God is not real. Psalm 127 in the Bible says, if you build the house and labor without God, you labor in vain. The person that stays awake watching over the city and does so without God stays awake in vain. It doesn't matter what you do in this life, whether you have a business building houses or a job working security. Anything you do trying to chase success without God will never be successful.
Never.
Because success comes from God. Success is operating for the purpose that God created you for. So if you operating outside of God's purpose for what he created you for, you may be able to make some money. You may be able to get some attention and some fame, but you will never be successful because success comes from God. Truth comes from God. You know what makes a lie a lie? Is it not agreeing with what God said? Somebody could be living in sin, but God said you're more than a conqueror. So for me to say you're a whatever, put a fill in the blank with whatever sin. If God say, no, that's one of mine, then I would be in the wrong. So success is success because God says it's success, not because we say it. We don't determine that, just like we don't determine truth. And so when I see people that are perceived as successful, but I know what it means to actually be successful, and I know that you have to operate for God's purpose for yourself and for the blessings that he give you. God give you blessings for a purpose, for you to steward them and make more of them. That's what the parable of the talents, when Jesus teaches the parable of the talents, that's what he's talking about. God gives you these things so you can go make more of these things and bring back to God and give God the glory. That's why the scripture says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works, but glorify your Father in heaven. Give honor and glory and say, man, look how good God is in that person's life. That's what God's purpose of success is. To everything God, the Bible says God does everything to please himself. For God, read in Revelations, for God created the world to please himself. You're created to please God as well. When you're not doing those things, you're not successful. And I don't care what the name behind it is. I don't care if it's Jay-Z. I don't care if it's King Tut. I don't care who it is, bro. If you're not operating for the purpose God created you for, you're not successful. And anything you go outside of God to get, you got to stay outside of God to keep.
Amen.
And it may look like you're winning in the beginning, but at the end of the day, what does it profit a man to gain the world and lose his soul? That's all I got for you guys. My name is Will Evans. Hope you subscribe. I hope you like this video on your way out. I'll see you guys on tomorrow's live stream. Make sure you stay blessed by the best. And always remember, God has called you to peace. I'll see you guys next time. Love.
I love how deep he gets when he started talking about the Bible and everything. I love that, man. It's like What are we supposed to do? What do we supposed to do? We supposed to help other people and give him the glory. We supposed to be pleasing God. But nah, what we trying to do now, what everybody try to do is please yourself. And that's where the problem comes in at. Look here, I'm going to get me something to eat, man. Uncle Mike hungry. I am starving. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I want something good, Joe. What y'all think is good? Let me know in the comments what I should eat that's good. I might go to Outback. I like the blooming onion from Outback. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.